Hello and greetings, fellow StarCrafters. This is PGL Milnencraft from ProGamingLeagues.com, and this is a 1 versus 1 between the Red Terran Isildur and the Blue Protoss player Nero. This map is a fairly new map from the one of the newer ladder map updates. It's Antiga Shipyard. It's actually, it's not just a ladder map. It's also used in the GSL and several other tournaments as well. And it's a very interesting map. It's very large. Not like super large, but it's pretty large, and it comes with, some of the notable features are there is a little smoky hideout right here where you can put your, hidden tech or something like that. It's not quite big enough for any Terran hidden tech, but like Protoss players sometimes put dark shrines there. Although you have to be careful because you can spot that and then shoot it down, or you can do drops there and other such. Also, it has a expansion with a full 8 mineral patches, as well as 2 Vespene geysers, which is very easy to defend right here. And it just got another ramp down, fairly small ramp for a natural expansion. And then after that, the third expansion is relatively easy to defend as well. Look like a mixed little smiley face, like a doggy smiley face, right here with a ramp into that, and you can actually kind of guard both with forces right here. However, there are destructible rocks here which guard the second entrance into your third expansion, which makes that a little bit more difficult to hold. And then, of course, there is a watchtower covered by smoke in the middle, and it's got two gold geysers on the top and the bottom of it. That just watch that, and those are fairly difficult to take, especially in a Terran versus Terran. Possibly this one will be taken, but the other one it's very unlikely to be taken. It is a 4-player map, and so there are 4 starting points here, 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 and here. If you're just watching the mini map, hope that wasn't too confusing. Oh wow, is he actually going to lose it looks like he's going to lose that SCV there. Oh, looks like he is repairing it in time. And able to take out the probe, barely able to save it. He got down to one last tip, but was able to just barely repair it. So good job on Isildur's part, and able to trap and kill the probe. So nice job on the part of Isildur. He did have his marine out, however. Oh no, he does not quite have his marine out. Almost done though, so the marine would have scared it away as well. And Nero did in fact spot that he did get gas, so he's not doing any sort of super fast expansion, unless he's doing something like a Marauder expansion, which I would say is likely, given the way his current build has gone. Or actually, yeah. And so it looks like he's going to be getting a Marauder expand there. Meanwhile, Nero has gotten a second gas as well, and a second gateway, so he won't be doing a super fast expansion. And actually, he's got a second gateway before Warp Gate, which is a little interesting. It looks like the SCV was able to be pincered out by those probes, again, those pesky little probes that are so annoying to deal with as a Terran player. So his Warp Gate was actually a little delayed, which means, you're not going to see a 4-gate. Fairly rare against Terran as well. Kind of curious exactly what kind of build he's going. It looks like he is going a little sentry heavy once he gets some early sentries out, so he can build up some energy on those. This will be very useful with the force fields right here on the ramp. And just in general, sentries are very good against bio, because if you can, stop bio from being able to kite you, it does a really good job at, being able to defeat it. And Isildur is in fact getting his expansion and getting Marauders, and he has not gotten Marauder slow, however. So it looks like he's going for a little bit more of a risky Marauder expand than is typically the case. However, he was able to spot Nero's weird build as well, and so it's possible that he just kind of recognized that he didn't have to take any too big of risks. Now, part of the dynamic for this is that Isildur's expansion, because it was so much earlier and in fact built on site, he is in fact going to be economically ahead. Did he just... Oh, it was a Reaper. The Reaper got inside. I don't believe it got any worker kills. No, it looks like he did get 5 worker kills, actually. Wow, that's pretty impressive. 4 worker kills from the Reaper. So, it was a good job on his part. It means that Nero wasn't prepared for that, even though, that's fairly common kind of opening. Oh, and actually, yeah, that was the kind of build that he was getting, because he got the Reaper before he got the Marauder. So it's really more of a Reaper expand than anything. It does leave you a little vulnerable early, as the Marauders aren't done quite in time, but Nero wasn't going for any sort of 3-gate pressure expand build or anything. And actually, he still hasn't gotten an expansion. So Isildur is actually very far ahead in the economy right now, and I don't think he's going for an all-in. Just because he only has 3 gateways. He should be getting his expansion any moment now. He does have the 400 minerals. Huh. Is he just going to push out and try to deal damage? Does he think he's too far behind now as a result of the damage to his worker line. Looks like he is actually not expanding behind this. This is very interesting, but also very risky. However, Isildur does not have very many forces behind this. He does have 2 additional barracks, but both of them are building labs, and then he's teching up as well. He did get too aggressive with his teching up, so I will say he is decently prepared, and SCV is going out and going to spot that attack. He's pulls SCVs. He is not pulling his SCVs. Nice force fields. Yep, ain't going to stop any repair on that. However, dealing a lot of damage to those stalkers as well. And looks like he is only going to take it out, so there's only 4 sentries and 2 stalkers left, which is the most menacing of forces. And, oh wow, that second bunker is going to finish. That's huge. Now he's going to be able to repair that. He's got like 1 force field left. That's not going to be enough to stop these SCVs from repairing. However, he's really low on forces right now, so if he needs to pull, I would be pulling a lot more SCVs if I were him. Than these just 4. He needs to pull some from his main base. Looks like they're repairing, but the SCVs are getting sniped off one by one, so that bunker is going to go down. It did deal a decent amount of damage, able to take him down. He's only down to 1 more stalker, and that's 4 marauders left. Able to kill 1 sentry, and probably going to be aiming for another sentry. Oh no, looks like he's going for the stalkers. Good choice to go for the damage dealers. Once the stalkers are all killed, the sentries with their tickle guns aren't going to be that effective. Barely finishes that bunker as well. However, that bunker's not going to be terribly effective. Needs to pull his SCVs. I'm not sure what he's doing. At a very minimum, yep, he's going to lose that tech lab, which is researching stim. So that stim's going to be dead about long. Here comes all of the SCVs for the counterattack. Nice force fields, however, to keep those SCVs out of bay. It's possible, now that he's lost everything on the ground, Isildur should just pack it up, move his command center inside, and move up the ramp. Is he going to do that? Oh wow, is he actually going to lose? He is going to lose this bunker. There's no way he's going to be able to save that. And nice force field, able to trap that guy. And that bunker did in fact go down. Dealt a little bit of damage to his stalker, but not too bad. He's going to build a couple more bunkers, and then when that force field, I don't think Nero is going to try to go up that ramp. That seems a little too risky for me. I wouldn't recommend that. So the SCV should all go back to work right now. And actually, Isildur has gone from a heavy economic advantage to a slight economic loss, as his opponent's expansion is now halfway done. It's not quite up yet, but Nero's in a very good position. If we go to the units lost tab, he's killed a lot more Terran units. It's 1,000 more resources. That's a lot of resources this early in the game. Makes up for any economic advantage Isildur had early. And he did in fact kill like 12 more workers in that engagement, so that was a good job on his part as well. 2 bunkers though, it's going to make any sort of attack up the ramp entirely impossible. Nero was in fact expecting that though. And look at that, see, Stim's just starting again. So all of a sudden, instead of Stim being done right now, he has to wait for another like 2.5 minutes for it to finish, you know. Very big deal, and very unfortunate for the part of Isildur in that respect. And that's part of the danger of putting your barracks on the low ground, even in the natural expansion, is if you lose it right away, then it can be very dangerous. It does make your units out slightly faster, but, you know, he lost the barracks too, so that's another barracks that he lost as well. And actually, he must be thinking that Nero is pushed away, but looks like Nero's still there. The orbital command's going to spot that. Isildur still probably doesn't have enough forces to safely be able to go down that ramp, especially without Stim at this point, but he is getting medevacs, so at some point Nero does need, in fact, to think about sending his forces home. But it looks like the observer is going to be able to get over there and spot any sort of medevacs coming before any sort of danger comes, because if you know, even without Stim, if Isildur is able to drop into his base, well, you know, Nero's army is way over here, then that's going to be very effective. And also, he can actually just trap the forces. Nice force field there. Looks like... Oh, does not want to do that. Isildur needs to be a little bit more careful with a full medevac like that. And looks like he's actually doing a little bit more. That observer helping him spot the high ground there. And Isildur is actually being a little too aggressive here. Now, he's not going to lose that orbital, but it is going to take a lot of damage, and he's going to have to repair that damage, which is going to cost him. And meanwhile, these forces, nice force fields, and able to snipe medevac. Oh, not quite. Looks like Nero is just going to slide on out of there. That was like perfect force fields, absolutely perfectly placed. Great job from Nero's part. So now Isildur's got a tall hill to climb. The supply count is fairly similar. However, Isildur is very heavily supply blocked at this point. Did that orbital command get taken out? Did I miss that? Holy crap, it did get taken out. I completely missed that. And it looks like Isildur's just like, screw it, I'm going for an all-in. Absolutely correct decision. He does have stim now. Able to take out a pylon here. Hopefully before the pylons... Oh, the observer's going to spot the all-in anyway. So it looks like Nero's forces are going to move in. And actually, Nero might want to... Oh, he's going to defend this ramp. I was going to say he could defend the top ramp as well. He's going to be very careful because units can get elevated up. Nice force fields. Able to keep the units at bay. Oh, but it looks like the SCVs are able to stream in. He doesn't quite want them coming in yet. He's going to wait for those force fields to go away. And still one little hole there. But that's actually working against Isildur as it's allowing a couple of his units to be picked off. But a couple of these zealots to be picked off as well. Very scary moment. Nero needs to pull his probes at this point. There is absolutely no reason not to pull his probes. He's going to win if he wins this engagement. Isildur doesn't have any workers left. He knows that. Why are the probes coming out? And he's out of force fields now, so he's not going to be able to split the force. He's taking a lot of damage here. Pull the probes. He's not pulling the probes still. There we go. Alright, the probes have finally got pulled, but not before. A lot of damage has been dealt. And, oh, wow. Actually, Isildur on the all-in. Oh, my God. Oh, looks like he was able to take out almost all of Nero's forces. We do have 3 Archons coming up and a relatively small and dwindling army for for Isildur, but he's killed almost all of his opponent's workers. He's going to be able to do a decent job kiting these Archons, able to take one out right there. So he should actually be able to win this. Oh, he does not want to lose these forces, though. If he loses this army here, it's going to be like the closest, most ridiculous army ever. And the Stalkers are actually able to, because the medevacs are out of energy, so he needs to send the medevacs home. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're down to like 3 workers for Nero. Let's go to Income tab. 4 workers to 0 workers. However, because of mules, Isildur does still have money coming in. He had excess gas, so he's got a bunch of marauders and marines. Oh, able to take out... Oh, one more. I think that stim was a little premature. He wants to be a little more careful than that. He's only got 1 medevac and it's at like no energy. So he wants to be very careful about that. Also wants to keep that medevac alive. Able to take out 1 stalker, not quite the other one. But he is going to take out that Nexus. Oh, no, it looks like he's going to go in and go for the throat. And I don't think Nero is going to be able to survive this. Wow. So the desperation all in for Isildur worked out. And he was in fact able to win. And I'm really impressed at that. It looks like Nero just was a little too comfortable with his forces. And, I mean, he had some really great force fields during that match. But his Templar Archives were just not ready in time. And he didn't have the Archons fighting with the main army. He had to fight after his main army had gotten destroyed. And he also didn't pull the probes in time. You know, so that they could tank for all the Marauder shots for the Stalkers. Which have been very useful in that engagement. And he knows his opponent was all in. As a result, so he didn't have to worry about you know, losing anything like that. So I can't believe he didn't actually like pull his forces earlier. But that was a really terrific and really exciting game. I can't believe how close that ended up being with like a ridiculous all-in like that. But looks like Isildur was able to pull through. He cast it into the fire or something like that, and he went go ahead and win that game. So a very exciting game. This is PG on Milncraft signing off.